Europe just dropped explosive news on Donald Trump, and trust me, this is not something he's going to like. What just happened has global implications and is also raising quite a few eyebrows. How's it going? My name is Hunter Avalone with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video, and don't forget to click that like button if you also agree Donald Trump needs to go. But don't worry, even if you didn't click that like button, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that you also agree Donald Trump needs to go. Because after all, America, for example, right here, right now, is in total panic mode as Donald Trump's new tariffs are set to take effect this week.
President Donald Trump now says he will tariff all countries. He promises the reciprocal tariffs will bring in substantial money. And as ABC's Perry Russin reports, there are fears of an international trade war and rising prices.
With days to go until President Trump's reciprocal tariffs kick in, Trump now saying he will tariff all countries.
You'd start with all countries, so let's see what happens.
It comes after his Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the administration would focus on the 15% of countries with the highest tariffs against the U.S., Bessent calling them the dirty 15.
The tariffs will be far more generous than those countries were to us, meaning they will be kinder than those countries were to the United States of America over the decades.
The tariffs will be announced and implemented on Wednesday, as Trump calls it Liberation Day.
Yep, unfortunately, Donald J. Trump doesn't care at all about the facts, he simply cares about his feelings. He also doesn't care at all that quite a few Americans are not okay with this.
President Trump is referring to Wednesday as Liberation Day, but many American consumers are not optimistic about the impact tariffs will have on them. According to a new CBS News YouGov poll, 72% of Americans think the tariffs will increase prices in the short term, and less than a third believe it will drive prices down in the long term.
Well, it almost doesn't matter because Donald Trump at this point feels like a child. If you tell him no, he just wants to do it more. And now, to make matters worse, the guy who promised to make America great again, the guy who promised he would fix the economy somehow, just saw stocks close out their worst quarter since 2022 amid the tariff uncertainty.
US markets suffered their sharpest decline in nearly 3 years, as fears of stagflation gripped Wall Street ahead of President Donald Trump's anticipated Liberation Day tariff announcement. The S&P 500 fell 4.6% in the first quarter of 2025.
Make America great again apparently means crash the economy and now completely ostracize America from the rest of the world. Well, Europe has responded, and they've dropped an absolute bombshell on Trump. That's right, the moment you've all been waiting for. Take a look.
We have some breaking news as Europe fires back at Trump's global DEI crackdown. In a dramatic international rebuke, European leaders are slamming the Trump administration's attempt to export its anti-DEI agenda across borders. French officials confirmed today that US diplomats sent letters to major companies demanding they abandon diversity, equity and inclusion initiatives, even those enshrined in European law.
We are aware of the letter that was sent by the US administration to the companies. We need to know a bit more details before we react. And as you know, and as you've pointed out, anti-discrimination and equality is based on our main values.
France's Foreign Trade Minister, Laurent Saint-Martin, called the pressure deeply shocking and vowed the country will not compromise its core values. In a fiery response, Belgium's Finance Minister, Jean Jambon, declared, "We have no lessons to learn from the boss of America," while Spanish leaders vowed to defy Trump's edicts in programs like Barcelona's American Spaces. The explosive fallout follows a US executive order stating that DEI bans apply to all federal suppliers, no matter where they operate. An unprecedented overreach now igniting diplomatic tensions across the Atlantic.
So not only is the majority of America absolutely fed up and sick and tired of Donald Trump, now every single day it appears that the world is growing more and more sick of Donald Trump, because Europe just dropped this bombshell And I think that it put Donald Trump in his place, and I know it's going to make him unhappy. But after all, Donald Trump claimed all along that he would make America great again, but all I see is America continuing to decline.